Zach Miller is the Bears' tight end, and perhaps the last time you saw Zach was in a game where he thought he had caught a touchdown pass against the Saints. So did we. And then you realized when he came down landing awkwardly that it looked like he was in trouble from just a knee injury, regular knee injury. And then I didn't know if he had broken it. And then social media took over where all of a sudden it went from knee injury, is it a broken leg, to maybe he's running the risk of losing his leg to amputation. 8 surgeries, I believe, later. Zach Miller, kind enough to join us. Zach, how's your morale today?
Morale is high, my friend. I'm doing good, man. I appreciate you having me on.
All right, let's go back to the play itself. Have you seen, when's the first time you saw the play itself?
I haven't seen it from an angle that shows my leg. I saw our video guy got an angle from it for me to be able to see without my leg being bent backwards, but I haven't seen the actual picture or video of it being in real time bent that way.
But when you get injured, you come down, and at what point do you realize this is different than any other time I've ever come down on the ground?
I felt the injury right away. Obviously, I knew it was severe. I didn't know that I had the artery injury until probably a couple minutes down the road, where I could start to feel that blood fill up in the bottom of my leg. Started to lose a little bit of feeling, so that was kind of the point where I started to panic a little bit.
And then, do you hear anything? Because you're on the ground or you're being taken off on a stretcher in the ambulance. What are you hearing at the time?
Once they got me on the stretcher, I was kind of on the sideline. I kept hearing the crowd oohing and ahhing because it kept replaying the play and showing the injury every time. So I could hear that. And I was like, well, I didn't know they were reviewing it. Clearly, I see I have a touchdown, so I thought it was up and we'd be kicking an extra point. But they kept replaying it. I was pretty aware of everything. It was just as time went on, it was a little more urgent for me to get into the hospital and get some care going.
Do you think you were in shock at the time? You didn't even realize it?
Yeah, because immediately when it happened, I was fairly calm. I remember sitting in the end zone talking to our head athletic trainer, Nate Bresky, and I was just told him, I said, hey, man, my knee's gone. And he was like, you sure? Like, him and he knows I know my body pretty well. So, I was calm all the way up until the point we got back to the locker room. And then, once my leg started to feel the way it did, the panic kind of started to set in.
How long was the initial surgery?
I think like 4 or 5 hours was the first one to repair the artery and stuff. So, they had to take a vein out of the other side of my leg, and then they flip you over, cut you in the back of your leg, and repair the artery that way. So it was about 4 or 5 hours. And
then the subsequent surgeries, what have they been for?
Yes. Those were – so I had a fasciotomy of my calf on both sides, where they just make incisions, really from the bottom of my knee to the top of the ankle, just to relieve the pressure that I had. I had so much blood loss and trauma, so the fluid that was filling up in my calf with compartment syndrome needed to be released. And that's really what the majority of the surgeries were for, was just to make sure that was draining and get it closed up.
Talking to Zach Miller, the Bears tight end, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. You heard the word amputation. Were you told that, or how did that topic come? How was that presented to you?
It wasn't told to me like, okay, we got to get this done, or we're going to have to amputate your leg. I knew what could be if we didn't get it taken care of urgently. And that was the case. We were very close. After I woke up from surgery, talking with my doctors and my surgeons, we were a matter of minutes away from starting to lose some of that tissue, and once that starts, it's kind of hard to stop.
What was that like? I think you have a daughter and 2 sons when they come to see Dad in the hospital.
What was it like when they showed up?
Yeah.
That was awesome. For me to see them the first time was actually when I transported back to Chicago via airplane. So they met me at the airport. It was pretty cool to see them for the first time. It had been a little over 7 or 8 days, so that was a special moment for me to get to hug them.
Where's that football from that catch that should have been a touchdown?
It's getting painted. Our our owner, George McCaskey, delivered that to me in the hospital the day after my surgery. That guy's been unbelievable throughout this whole ordeal for myself and my family. But he delivered it to me, and then now it's getting painted. So as soon as it gets decorated up, I'll have it back in my possession.
Did you try to petition the NFL for a ceremonial touchdown?
I don't think I needed to petition that. I think a lot of other people took care of that for me.
Anybody who goes through surgery, certainly athletes, need that carrot dangled there. You need to have some kind of inspiration, like this is my goal. I'm assuming at your age and playing this sport, football is still a possibility, at least in your mind.
Certainly.
Yeah? Is that your goal, that you think you'll be able to play again?
I think so. I mean, I haven't really told anybody yes or no whether that's a definitive thing for me. It's I haven't been told no. I've actually been told yes by a number of doctors, and for me, it's just we'll cross that road when it comes time. But deep down inside, I've told everybody who really knows me. They know what I'm about. They know I love playing this game, and if I have an opportunity to do it, I'm going to put everything I got into it to get back on the field. What's
that conversation with your wife like?
It gets a little dicey sometimes. She obviously loves, what this game has done for us, and she loves being a part of it. None of this would be possible without her. I mean, for her to really raise a household on her own half the time throughout the year, because football takes up so much time. But it's just something that's a part of us. So, either which way, however it plays out, I've had a great time doing what I've done so far, but I'd love to continue it. And when that time comes, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. When you sit down and the question's coming from your wife, or question, like you know it, and you could tell that she's getting ready to ask you, and you got to go, oh, God, I don't know what to say here, right?
And it's one of those things where you got to tell her, like, hey, babe, let's just play it out. We'll see how it goes. That's the kind of thing for me to get around is we'll see. We'll cross that road when it comes.
Man.
But I know she worries about me. Obviously, more after this thing, just because of the way it played out, the severity of it, a little worrisome, obviously for her. But she's been great throughout the first these 7 weeks that we've been going through this. She stayed in the hospital with me for 24 days, bouncing back and forth to take care of the kids and take care of me. So now she's got another big kid on her plate with me being down.
Okay. Sometimes people joke, hey, it's too soon to joke about that. But have your teammates, are they allowed to joke about this at all?
Hey, man, anything goes in this line of work.
Wait, even this, though, Zach? You almost lost your leg.
Yeah, I know. Nobody has been over the top. Everybody's been actually really supportive. But the Bleacher Report Gridiron Heights video that came out, I don't know if you got a chance to see that. It's a funny cartoon that they did up. You have to check it out. But I got some good laughs out of that from my teammates. So,
well, it'll be a different Christmas for you, but hopefully it's a great Christmas for you. We appreciate your time, Zach, and I plan on seeing you out on the field.
You got it, man. I appreciate you. I hope you have a good Christmas as well.
Thank you, Zach. That's Zach Miller, the Bears tight end. And 8 surgeries later, seems like he's in pretty good spirits there. 7 weeks ago. And then, you have that injury, and he comes down, and you go, oh, that's different. And then you realize they're not going to even give him the touchdown.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.